first game I will show you is Battlefield 1. I got this in CEX in London a while ago for 8 quid, as you can see. It was a really good game. Originally 29 quid at cash converter, that's interesting. But yeah, it's a second-hand game. I thought, why not? And it was pretty cool. For 8 quids, I could not complain. It's very interesting to me, all the games about World War One and World War Two, and this one being a World War One game, which is quite rare. There's not so many games about this time period. They did a great job, and it was really, really pretty, especially the stories and whatnot. So I really love this game. This one is second hand, so didn't come with anything. I doubt that originally this game came with anything inside, but it's possible. That was the first one. The next game that I want to show you is a game I got on launch day as well. As well, for like the other games, like The Last of Us Part 2 and Red Dead Redemption 2. Not Battlefield 1. This game is Ghost of Tsushima. Brilliant game. Beautiful world. The Japanese samurai and world of this time period was so interesting. I loved it. It's not a game I would play the story multiple times though, but it's still pretty cool to go around in missions and side missions and whatnot, and it is a beautiful game which came out in on PS4 originally, and they made a director cut on PS5 later, which upgraded on the PS5. I didn't get the physical copy because you don't need to, you can upgrade from the game directly. So that goes with Tsushima, and inside there is some paperwork which is an ad for another game. That's very interesting. I don't remember all of this, right? I never opened this game. This goes on PS Plus, it was included, so I didn't have to use the physical game, but I still have it. Now since then, they announced it's launching in October, the Ghost of Yotze, which is the sequel 300 years after the time period of this one. It's a different character as the main character, and I'm not sure if I'm going to buy it at launch, but we'll see. It seems pretty interesting to me, so we'll see. But this is one of my favorite games as well. The next one is the Spider-Man franchise. I got this on PS4 a long time ago. The first one was a great game when it came out. Like, it was amazing that you can just swing around in New York. Like The Last of Us Part 1, they did instructions on what buttons to press. The control, pretty cool. The CD here, like, for the time when it came out, I think it was 2018, maybe 2017, I actually have no idea, I can't remember. This was very advanced, that was amazing. You can just go anywhere you want in graphics and makes it even more spectacular. In terms of graphics and everything is pretty cool. I actually got this one on eBay. The box, it's my fault that it's broken, it didn't come out like this. It arrived to me almost as new. Really, it was second hand, but it was as new. It was as new. It was really, really good shape. No scratch, nothing. I banged out the box myself. It's not how it arrived. Nothing inside. And that's the disc. And I got it for so much cheaper. It was a game that for such a long time was priced at, I don't know, £70 or something. And I managed to buy it for 10 or 15 quid of eBay. Surely someone that received it for their birthday or something and they just decided to sell it online. Well, I hope it's the case and it's not a stolen game, but it was much cheaper than it would be. So I thought, why not? This is one of the reasons. Then when I bought the PS5, I bought the disc version and not the digital version. For one reason, mainly to play all my PS4 games. And also for these type of situations where you can get second-hand games much cheaper later, that you don't mind not play on day one and then can get much cheaper on the second-hand market. But if you had a digital version of PS5, then there's nothing you can do. You have to pay full price on the PlayStation Store for 70 or 80 quid, 80 pounds. So that was one of the reasons why I decided to go with the disc version, and that was one of the reasons where you can purchase games like this. Next franchise is Gran Turismo version. At some point I had a wheel and pedals, a Thrustmaster RS300 I think. It was a very good one. I had to sell it when I moved house, but since I got the wheel to play Formula 1 games, I got this Gran Turismo Sport. It was pretty cool. It was pretty interesting. It was pretty nice, but nothing extraordinary. Maybe for its time, but I got it late. Like, much later. Actually, I got this game not so long before the release of the next game, which is Gran Turismo 7. Now that was a step up. This is a very pretty game. In terms of graphics, again, I broke it while I was moving houses again. It was pretty much of a mess. But beautiful, beautiful game. In terms of racing, great experience, especially with the wheel and pedals. It's great. Very, very nice experience. However, one thing that I was missing was the fact that this game is just racing, meaning that you start on a track and there you go. There's no casual driving, which didn't exist on PS5 for most of the good games, like Forza Horizon on Xbox and PC. So that was a bit of a bummer that they didn't have that kind of functions in this game. Maybe down the line Gran Turismo will release a bit of a casual driving experience, which is pretty cool. But since then they released Forza Horizon on PS5. It just released. I didn't buy it because I don't have my wheel anymore and there's no point. But yeah, Gran Turismo 7, pretty cool. So that's Gran Turismo 7. And the next part is just going to be still have on physical copies. The first one I got in physical was Black Ops 4. Was really cool. That was the first one I got on PS4 as a Call of Duty. And I was actually very disappointed to know that it was just a multiplayer game. I knew Call of Duty on PC and other platforms to be great campaigns and missions, but this one was just multiplayer. And I was not happy about this. I didn't know. I actually didn't know this has been used years ago. It's actually expired, just to tell you. It's actually expired, God. But nonetheless, even though it was just a multiplayer game, it was great. And I was playing this with friends online on PS4, and it was a great experience. It's basically the experience that we got before Warzone came out, and we had such a crazy experience in Warzone. But before Warzone, that's the game we played. And then when the next one came out, I immediately bought it because first, like I said, I'm really interested in the World War II era and games. I've been a fan of Band of Brothers, the TV show, since I'm a kid. This is my favorite TV show. And I've been very interested in this whole world for all this time. And Civic Private Ryan, obviously. So when this came out, that was an easy decision. I bought it immediately and I loved it. Absolutely gorgeous game. Beautiful missions. I actually played it quite a few times, which normally doesn't happen in the Call of Duty game, but wow, what a game. Gorgeous. The missions, the graphics, the gameplay, some paperwork, pretty interesting, and some PlayStation Plus promotion. I never played it online. I mean, I played it online a few times, but not much. This was for the missions. That's why I got this game. I loved it, and it's absolutely amazing. Since then, there's a new game that just came out on PS5. I don't have any physical copy of it, but it's my favorite multiplayer game. It's Hell Let Loose, which is a World War II game, multiplayer only, and it's incredible for anyone that loves World War II games in this era. Absolute masterpiece of a game, and I still play this daily as much as I can. So this is a great single player experience, and for multiplayer experience I would get Hell Let Loose, which is my favorite multiplayer games, my favorite FPS game really. There's nothing else I can do, I can say about this game. Brilliant. And then the next one I got was again in physical version, is the Modern Warfare. That is one of the best Call of Duty games ever made to this day, because the jump in terms of graphics and gameplay from the of Call of Duty released, so I bought it immediately because I thought I'm gonna take advantage of the new platform and the new graphics of the PS5 to get such a great game. And the graphics were beautiful, really gorgeous. But the story and then the gameplay was not, again, such a massive wow factor. It was nice, but not as amazing as the Modern Warfare one. But I still loved it. Obviously, I still have it. Oh, they did some ads for Warzone, free to play. Warzone is pretty brilliant. But now, after so many years, I got a bit bored of it. It's not as interesting. But now that they brought back Verdansk on Warzone, I started playing again. I didn't play Warzone for many years. But since they brought back, it's becoming pretty interesting again. It's nostalgia. So yeah, that's Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. And since then, all the Call of Duty have been alright, but not amazing. I played all of them, either from friends that lent me their disc and I played the game, the mission only. I don't need to play multiplayer. But that was pretty amazing. And the other game that I liked was Vanguard, because it's about the World War II era, which was really nice and I loved it. And some of the missions are really, really great in Vanguard. I don't have a physical copy. I took it from a friend. Give him back. But the only thing I didn't like about Vanguard, it was not faithful to actual history of World War II. It was more like a fictional kind of reality in the World War II world, and that's maybe not my cup of tea. I like to be very close to the source material. So, source material, I'm talking about World War II, but yeah, I mean about the real historic event. So yeah, that's about it. And that's all for the games on PS5 and PS4 that I currently have in physical copy. I do have other games which are not physical, digital versions of it, which I get on sale and whatnot. So it's not all the games that I have, especially on PC. But those are the physical ones that I have. And yeah, I did have a Nintendo Switch with 2 games, but it's maybe for another day. Here's some tapping on this box. So, Black Ops Cold War, Modern Warfare, World War II, Black Ops 4, Gran Turismo 7,